Hello friends, welcome to another edition of our Telecom Drive video. Today it is great pleasure for me to be sitting with Mr. Paresh Shetty from Arya Omnitalk, and here we are going to talk about how they are addressing the Indian market and also touch upon some of the trends that are happening in the industry. So Paresh, welcome to the video. And I would like to understand from you a little bit about your strategy towards targeting the Indian market. How do you look at that?
Thanks, Zia, for inviting me for this session. It's my pleasure to be here on this video. For Arya Omnitalk, this has been an organization which is a joint venture between Arvind Group of Companies and JM Bakshi Group of Companies, and they've been in this market for the last 30 years, right? And we've been addressing the critical communication space since the last 30 years. So there are three businesses that we do. One is the critical communication space, which we are there since 30 years, and since the last 20 years we are also into the vehicle tracking. Okay, so that's a very important GPS based vehicle tracking. So for all the oil companies, we basically make sure we track the vehicles, we know where it is stopping, the geofencing, the geo tracking, the entire thing. And then there are a lot of services that we developed over the period, and we are doing many more services which we will cover as we progress. The third business that we started since the last 15 or 20 years is the toll management. So once you pass through the highway, your toll is collected, you're reading the FASTag and all. So that entire technology is provided by us. So there are three services that we do at Arya Omnitalk in India. We've been a very dominant player because we've been the early movers over there, and we've been able to address many evolving needs of the customer.
Okay.
So we very this, and for the radio services, we have always represented Motorola. We are very fortunate that since the last 1.5 years, we're able to bring in many other technologies which Motorola is bringing in, introducing worldwide into India.
Right.
So currently we are representing Motorola in India for the various technology products that they have in their portfolio.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how it is, and we feel Indian market is evolving, and as we progress, a lot of these technologies will be adopted by the Indian customers. So from our radio services or the radio bucket of things, we see a lot of customer acceptance happening.
Okay.
On the vehicle tracking, there's a lot of evolvement already happening. I mean, all the vehicles that come are internet ready.
Okay.
So we basically help the vehicles to get internet ready and do a lot of other work compared to that, and we'll discuss as we move forward, and also on the toll management.
So when it comes to the critical communication segment and the walkie-talkie business that you are already working in with Motorola Solutions, what are some of the trends that you see in the market? What are some of the verticals that are actively looking at adopting these solutions today in India?
So critical communication has been the most important communication, because that's for every organization they use this because it's a security guard.
Yes.
It's their logistics or anything. In fact, there are about 15-20 verticals who need to have this service.
Right.
Okay, and just to explain how the trend is, I would also go to a little bit of a history, or basically the type of critical communications that are available. The first one is a public mobile radio trunking,
right,
in which the government gives licenses to service providers like us. Okay, since the last 15-20 years, we are having 18 cities where we run public mobile radio trunking. So that's where we set up the sites.
Okay.
And through that sites, we are offering the walkie-talkie services. We also call it as public mobile radio trunking, right? So there's a revenue share with the government, and that's how it works forward. The other thing is you also have captive mobile radio trunking. The license is given by the government to the end customer.
Right.
So we provide the infrastructure to it. And the latest trend that is happening is, instead of you setting up an infrastructure, taking up those frequency and all, Motorola has made a software. They basically have developed a software through a team of 500-600 software experts in Bangalore.
Okay.
They have got an application which makes a normal phone like a walkie-talkie. Okay, so they have an app which goes into it. So it writes. So the PTT, which is the PTT thing, is on the cellular.
Okay.
So the advantage of that is you can in the PMRTS or CMRTS, it is limited to that place. But through PTT on cellular, we also call it as POC.
Okay.
You can actually talk from one walkie-talkie to any other place in India and also international if it is through Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So now the requirement is becoming very big. So we see not only critical communication, probably a daily communication in terms of deliveries or all those. So there are new applications which will develop because of these things.
Right. Okay.
And apart from that, what is also happening is, and if you see it in all the Hollywood serials and all, if you see the police guys, he will have one or two walkie-talkie, and he'll also have a body one video.
Yeah, that's
Body
very
one
important
video.
there.
Yeah, body one
almost
video.
All the movies and
all
series
the movies we see that.
Yes.
So that is getting introduced in India.
Okay.
There are some early customers who have already shown interest in it, and in fact today we are going to talk more
That's
about
wonderful.
that also. Yeah. So body one videos will be introduced by Motorola over here. There's a new company that they acquired about 2 years back called IP Telephony, which they have got a product called as Halo Sensors. Now, Halo Sensors are sensors that we put where CCTV is not used.
Okay.
So this senses voice, it senses smell. So universities, many places where vaping is not allowed, smoking is not allowed, that sensors can do it. So in the public toilets of kids,
right,
they don't want to do, so that can happen. Also emergency. So if you shout help, it's an open IP, it can transfer that message to your walkie-talkie. It can transfer it to a phone. It can transfer to the nearest police station.
Okay.
So all that system is there. It's a very, it's an IP. So what happens is there's not many competitions there. In fact, there are no competitions for the sensor.
Okay.
Also, if the carbon dioxide level or any level of gases are higher, it will send you alerts. So it's a very advanced technology that we are planning to introduce. That will take about 2 months to come to India because it requires all the BIS certificate and all that. So very happy that entire product line. Also, Motorola acquired Pelco and Avigilon last 2 years back, and so they have a video analytics team. Those products are also now coming to India. They are already there in India since long as Pelco, but now they come under the Motorola portfolio. Okay. So we feel there will be more traction in India. So there will be more adoption to it, and all this could be integrated with each other. Right. Imagine CCTV, phone, walkie-talkie, all talking to each other, and through a command center. So it becomes like a seamless, and it will provide a much more secured environment. So Motorola's objective is always solving for safer. Right. So that will be achieved.
So you are playing an important role on the critical communication side, but you are also playing an important role in the smart city space, right? Because surveillance and overall providing secure infrastructure towards public safety is an important element there. So in both these segments, how do you look at the trend of AI, percolating there? What are some of the trends that you see where AI is playing an important role, or AI can play an important role there, both from a critical communication standpoint as well as smart city standpoint?
So what I would say is that as we introduce AI, critical communication and security and surveillance, they start talking to each other, and that's where the intelligence is built in. Right. So as we said, there were 3 different services, but we see more and more integration of all these services. Okay. So in a smart city, it's a very ideal place where we can do an integration of this entire thing. In fact, there are a lot more services which Arya Omnitalk provides to a smart city. Right. But let's take the one which is offered by Motorola. So it's the critical communication, security, surveillance. So with Avigilon as a platform, they can make walkie-talkie, CCTV, and other mobile and everything talk to each other, and it provides AI. So for example, you can blacklist or whitelist somebody. Okay. So if somebody wants to enter a secured area, you can say these are the 100 people who can enter, rest cannot enter. Okay. You can also say this 20 people cannot enter. Okay. That is what. Or if you want to track a person where he is, so just by his face recognitions, it can track how it came, or it was an object which is kept, that can be done. Even the way intelligent search. Okay. So instead of seeing the entire video, or CCTV, where most of the things when the incidents happen, they have to see the entire video, 7-8 hours. Instead of that, you just put red shirt, white pant, whatever, and it will show you only those videos.
That's the intelligence part. Okay.
That's the intelligence part. That's the AI part which is done. It will also help you, when it comes to access to some places. So there's a lot of AI built in there. Okay. Also, apart from that, in smart cities, what we also do is solid waste management. So there are a lot of cities we have already implemented, especially in Gujarat, Surat, Ahmedabad. So what we are doing is, we separate out waste. You have wet waste, dry waste, and hazardous waste.
Right.
So we have RFID tags on all these bins. So if the bin goes full, the message comes to the command center. Command centers will send the vehicles. So all the vehicles are dispatched. They are scheduled in that manner. So they pick up in that manner. Similarly, we also integrated it with a lot with social media. So if somebody sees waste somewhere, they can just take a click and send it on their website, on the government website, and immediately it comes to the command center, and then the vehicles are sent.
Okay.
Via the radios and all that stuff.
Right.
The vehicle will go and pick it up and come, and they can immediately respond back to the customer. So it makes it a little bit, very well enabled kind of stuff.
Okay.
So that's how it is. So there's a lot of AI use. In fact, now we have gone into a situation that in the vehicle we also put a dash cam, which is front and back. So front can monitor the driver. If he's sleepy,
okay,
we basically tell that he's sleeping, so go at the side. If he's talking on the phone, and depending on which state it is, it can talk in their regional languages.
Okay.
So very interesting. Even the fuel sensors. So a lot of these things we basically try and make it talk to each other and build in a lot of intelligence in it.
Okay. Okay.
So we see the penetration of AI a lot in this segment.
Right. Now, you are also targeting the enterprise community, reaching out to them for their critical communications as well as security needs, surveillance needs. So, how do you look at targeting the enterprise with SaaS and IoT driven applications, from GPS tracking to fleet vigil kind of solutions?
Yeah, so I think to the enterprise now we have a much broader range of solutions that we do, and all these solutions can also be integrated with each other. So currently we've been approaching enterprises with probably piecemeal solutions, right?
Okay.
So we used to address the critical communications. Now we are trying to say, okay, can you look at us from a CCTV perspective? Now most of the enterprise already have CCTVs there. So we are saying, okay, we'll give this new range of CCTVs that can work along with your other CCTVs and do it. Similarly, in critical communications, if they have already invested in a particular kind of hardware, we are saying the new hardware will be made in such a manner that it can be interoperable. So PMRTS can be interoperated with POC, or DMR can be interoperated with POC. So that we have provided the interoperability kind of function as well.
Okay.
So that is what is happening. So all this to the enterprises today, we can grow with a much broader portfolio and integrated portfolio.
Okay. Okay. And here, as far as the go-to-market strategy is concerned for you, how do you work with the overall solution provider segment, or people who are working in small cities, targeting to small kind of police infrastructure there, or enterprise infrastructure in small locations like Kochi or Lucknow, Kanpur, Ludhiana, those kind of places. So how do you work with those SIs or solution providers?
So what we do is, so there are two approaches. One is the direct approach and one is the channel approach.
Right.
So direct approach, because we have offices in 18 circles, because 18 cities where we have got the licenses, we have a direct team.
Okay.
We have a direct sales team, we have a direct service team, and a direct network team. There we try and engage as much as possible. Beyond the 18 cities, we work via channel partners. Even in these 18 cities, we work with channel partners. Where we cannot reach, the channel partner reaches.
Okay.
So we kind of train the channel partners to give the solutions. They make sure that they are in front of the customers. They're explaining the solutions to them. And even for the channel partner, it's very important because they now have a broader range of products that they can sell.
Absolutely.
And much more integrated. So they can help the customer much more than what they were doing 1 or 2 years back.
Right. Okay.
So that's how it is. So we are planning that in 100 cities, we have our presence there through our channel partners.
Okay. That's your plan for what?
25, 26.
Okay. Okay. That's great. And what is the road ahead for the company? Can you share some details about your plans to increase your activity or expand?
So what we plan to do is, see, for the three businesses, we have three different ways of how we are, going towards our vision. So in fact, one of the broader vision that we have set as a team to our own organization is that we need to double our business every 3 years. Right. So it's a very aggressive growth, target that we have set for ourselves. So if you have to grow like that, we have to see that all the three businesses grow in that manner.
Right.
Basically between 30 to 35% on a yearly basis. So each of these businesses have prepared their detailed plan, okay, and that detailed plan is through the direct team as well as through the channel team, right? So each of these businesses have their plans set up with each other, and we know what is the evolving thing that's coming. So we are working on the new things ahead of time, and we are making sure we are compliant as well as we have the technology ready to service the customers. So in radio, we have this whole broad portfolio from Motorola that we have brought in.
Right.
In the the vehicle tracking and the GPS tracking, what we have made sure is we are moving additional services to the customers. So apart from just vehicle tracking, we are also providing driver monitoring. Apart from that, we are giving solutions like solid waste management, emergency response system, intelligence transport management system, so that with the same technology background, because we have their own devices and we have our own software team. So we are able to diversify into much wider solutions.
Okay.
The third is the toll management. Currently we are using FASTag based. Very soon it will be multi-lane. It could also be GNSS, which is GPS based without toll, in the sense the vehicle just goes through and the bill comes to the customer directly.
Okay.
So those kind of technologies also we are studying, and we are seeing how do we get ready over there.
Okay.
So it's a very exciting time for us. The entire team is very charged up on how to move ahead. So we are looking forward to our next years of growth or the journey with this broad portfolio and much more deeper solutions.
Wonderful. So that's it from my side. It has been a pleasure to interact with you, Paresh, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Zia, for having me over. So thank you. Wish you also all the best, and I hope we are able to service the customer in a much better manner. And if you are ever there, if you have any other things in mind, or if you have a solution that we provide in mind, please reach out to us. Thank you so much.